Hey guys, I wanted to say hello and welcome you to the class. This is Anatomy and Physiology 1, and my name is Kim Subach. I am an assistant professor here at Georgia Highlands College. I have been here since spring of 2015. So what, 6, 7 years? A while. Yeah, 7 years. Anyway, this class is super fun. It covers lots of really neat topics. With AP1, it's going to lead into AP2. You'll go on to Med Micro. If you need that for your pathway, if you are nursing or dental hygiene, you're going to take all three of these. And AP1 is the one that starts you off on this health professions field area. So it's a really great class. But I am going to tell you straight up, it is tough. It's a difficult class. So I want everybody to understand right out of the gate that this is um, a difficult class. I hate to say the word difficult because it scares people. But it's a rigorous class. It is definitely not a class that you can sit back and check in like once a week and be okay in it. It's not. I want you to know that right now. We are hitting the ground running in this class. Normally we have a 16-week semester, right? But this is summer. So we are doing it in 8 weeks. In 8 weeks, we're covering all the content that we would cover in 16 weeks in 8 weeks. And we're doing it fully online. So online is a little bit challenging, but I try and set it up the same way. I try and give my online students the same experience I would as my face-to-face students that I've been teaching all this time. So on my classes, I set it up on D2L the same way every time. So let's go over the D2L page first and look at it. I have it as an old school layout on D2L. I kind of like this layout and it's kind of stuck with me the last couple of years. So I have any announcements, they're going to be on the far left-hand side. So we're going to have announcements. It's got over here the welcome announcement. We've got calendar is in the middle with all of the important quizzes and things like that that we're going to go through. And then we have the content browser on the far right-hand side. So on the far left, we've got the announcements. It's the welcome to class announcement. Talking about what you need to do. So we our first week is busy. Normally on our online classes, we start on like Friday at midnight, and you've got all weekend to like log in, get used to everything, get your book, all that good stuff. But this class started today, Monday, June 7th. And so we don't have a lot of time on this first week to go through things. It's going to be a little rushed here in the beginning. So we are going to do all sorts of things in these very first few days. We are going to look at the syllabus. Look at the syllabus, look at the syllabus, look at the syllabus. It's super important. I don't have time in this video to go through the syllabus because if we were in a face-to-face class, I'd talk to you for an hour and 15 minutes about the syllabus. I'm briefly going to go through it, but I'm counting on you to look through the syllabus yourself. It's my contract between me and you. And I want you to know all the dirty nitty gritties. I need you to know the details about things, where to find things. It's all in there. It's all in there. The syllabus is a wealth of information that takes me a really long time to put together every semester. And so please look at the syllabus. The syllabus is so important that we use it for our syllabus quiz that you can find up here. The syllabus quiz is your attendance quiz, basically. Are you here in this class? Did you log in? Did you review the syllabus and you complete the quiz? The nice thing about the syllabus quiz is it's going to make you download Respondus browser if you have not already. I know some of y'all are coming here straight out of Bio 1010 or straight out of chemistry. And so everyone's got a little bit different background. Some of y'all are first semester transfers from another school. So it's maybe your first semester at Georgia Highlands, but we are going to use Respondus Lockdown Browser and Monitor for tests and exams, lab practicals in this class. So in order to take the syllabus quiz, you need to download that to your device, whether you've got a desktop or a laptop. I know it works on the iPads because that's what I use my face-to-face class, our iPads. to get Respondus Lockdown Browser and Monitor. You will need that. That is part of the tech requirements for this class. You'll need Wi-Fi, a device that works and can use Respondus. So we try and knock that out right now in the first couple days of the class to make sure that everybody has the right equipment, that it's working. And I will try and help you in the first couple days to try and make sure that you've got the right equipment. And then after that, I expect that everyone's equipment is working and that you are responsible for your equipment. So if something happens, then you are going to need to, I don't know, come to campus and use one of our computers, borrow a friend's computer, something like that. But after this first week, I'm going to assume that your tech is working and that everything's okay. If it is not, reach out, but that is a requirement that you've got, the Wi-Fi and the device to do the class. Speaking of monitoring the tests in Lockdown Browser, we've got another file here, the monitoring exam file, that's going to show you kind of expectations about Respondus Lockdown Browser Monitor. I do watch these videos. I treat my online classes just like I do my face-to-face and expectations. We're all graded the same. All of the nursing students are competing for the same few spots, right? So it's not fair if the online students are treated differently than the face-to-face students. So I treat everybody the same. Tests are monitored. I'm going to make sure that you're not cheating. I will watch you. It watches you if you don't know. It's going to turn on your webcam and I'm going to watch you. It's super creepy. I get it. But it's just like a face-to-face class. And I'm going to make sure, that you are doing the test to the best of your ability and that nobody is cheating in this class, because I definitely do not tolerate cheating. And if somebody is not, looking directly at the camera while they're taking their test, I start to question what's going on with them. Why are they looking off to the side? What's over there? And what are they doing? So in the syllabus, it lists a whole bunch of things, about cheating, what could be construed as cheating. If there's any doubt that it's cheating, it could be considered cheating. So please look through the syllabus. Please read those expectations, check out the file on monitoring the tests. Tech tip at the bottom. Tech is huge. We're taking an online class. So obviously any of the tips and tricks that I can share with you, I feel like are great. If you are new to Georgia Highlands, or even if you didn't know this, that D2L, Desire to Learn D2L, their browser that we're using, our learning management system, it will send you texts about assignments and quizzes and when things are due. I highly, highly recommend this. I didn't really tell you my whole background spiel, but I have a master's in wildlife. My undergraduate bachelor's is in wildlife science. I'm currently pursuing an EDD at Valdosta. So I am a student too. I'm just like y'all. I am an online student at Valdosta trying to get my doctorate, and I truly appreciate the notifications. So you have a video here. I made it to walk you through the notifications on D2L. It will tell you when that quiz is due. It will send you a 2-day reminder. Don't forget that paper is due. Did you want to know about what grade you made on that? Well, as soon as it posts, it will text you. So you can get all those notifications. There's an easy video to tell you how to do that, because again, there's a lot going on in these 8 weeks, and I don't want anybody to miss a deadline, to miss those points over something so simple just because, oh, I forgot, I didn't know. I don't want you to miss points. Everyone here right now has an A in this class. Everyone has an A, and I want you to keep that A. So please sign up for the notifications so you don't miss out on a deadline or something, and you get a 0 for something. I hate when people miss simple points like that could be avoided. So sign up for notifications on D2L. Super easy to get those. So that's our first announcement over here on the left-hand side. If anything else is coming up, I like to do announcements. If it's like an emergency thing, like something's going down, I don't know, I may text you through Navigate and let you know about stuff. But otherwise, announcements are going to go here on the left-hand side. Calendar in the middle has all of the good stuff. It's another place where you can find quiz deadlines. So when things are due, and again, this class, this first week, these first 3 days have a lot of stuff due. They do. I get it. I understand it's a lot of stuff and it's really heavy right here in the beginning. This is where you can see all the different things. So I mentioned the syllabus quiz, read the syllabus, take the syllabus quiz. It's going to tell you to download the, Respondus if you don't have it. You can knock it out. It's 10 easy questions. And you can take it as many times as you want. So it's totally okay. If you don't make a perfect 10 out of 10, take it again. It's cool. So we got the syllabus quiz, and then we have lecture and lab quizzes. And then the weekly meeting. All of this is due on Wednesday. It's all due on Wednesday. So it's a lot. Let's go through all of these different things that I'm talking about. We've got all these different quizzes. Here are links to each one of these if you find them in the calendar. Sometimes I have students that go and they log in, and for some reason, whatever, sometimes the link isn't in the calendar. So let me show you how you can find another back way into quizzes. So I'm going to come up to the very top. I've got assessments, and you can see assignments if we have any assignments. I don't think we have any in this class, but if we did have an assignment folder, it'd be here. Quizzes are where it's at. So we're going to click quizzes up here under the drop down tab, and you can see, look, they're broken down. We've got a whole section that says current quizzes. These are all the ones that are live right now. You can see it's a ton of them. It is. We have the syllabus quiz that I need you to complete in order to stay enrolled in this class. If you do not complete the syllabus quiz, then you will get booted out for non-attendance. So please, please do this. All the LQs are lab quizzes. Lab quizzes. There's 18 lab quizzes in this class, 18 of them. I'm going to take your top 10 of them, but I want everybody to do your best on them. So we have 4 lab quizzes that are due by Wednesday. Lab quizzes are fill in the blank. They're 10 points apiece, and they will pull from this collection of question pool. They will pull 10 questions on each of these topics, and we will go through where you get the information for those in a little bit. And then lecture quizzes. There are going to be 16 chapters in AP1 that we pull out of the book that we're going to get to in just a second. And every chapter is going to have a chapter quiz. So if you have read the textbook, if you've looked through the chapter outlines, if you have watched the lecture videos, take the chapter quiz. Ace those 10 questions. It should be super simple. I'm not designing these lecture quizzes to be hard. Lecture quizzes are supposed to be, easy points for you to get to help boost your grade. I'm not designing these things to hurt you. These are supposed to be keeping you on task, points for you to get for completing these things and staying on track. So these are the current quizzes, everything that's live right now that I would like for you to do by Wednesday. Things in the future are all down here in this other category. And if you click on them, they're not going to work because again, they're in the future. They're not live yet, but we have more lecture quizzes. We have more lab quizzes, and we have the lab practicals and the lecture exams coming up in the future. So this is how you can get to quizzes if you're not quite sure, if you somehow went to the home page and you're like, I thought this was due, but I'm not sure. Go assessments, quizzes, and click there, and you'll see everything that's live and when it's going to close. So there's no doubt. Again, the first place I want you to look for quizzes is going to be on the syllabus. So let's get started on class content. That's over here on the far right. This widget is super small. I don't know why it's so small. I have tried to make it larger, but it's just ridiculous. So since that widget is ridiculously small, we're going to go over here to content and then click the drop down arrow and click content. So now we can see everything all nice and big. So we're going to start with the start here, of course. Hopefully everyone has logged in today. I think there's just a few people that haven't logged in yet. And go to the start here page. I definitely want you to go here. So what do? We've got, we have typos, I'm gonna fix that. But we've got a whole bunch of things, tips and tricks and the syllabus to go through here. So I'm gonna go through the syllabus in just a second, but I wanna at least show you this page. I said straight up, AP1 is difficult. It is not an easy breezy fluff class. It's just not. And I'm really, don't try and say this to be mean, but I'm telling you to set expectations. You are going to need to study for this class. This class is going to require you to do lots of different study skills. And what skills work for you is different from what works for me. So I put a whole bunch of different study tips on this page for you. to help you figure out what works for you. So I've got a thing on here about games to figure out what works for you. Are you goal oriented? Do you do really well if you are on your own self monitoring? Um, a lot of this class, I mean, it's an online class, so it's all self directed. It's on you to keep up with everything and be sure that you're staying on task and keeping up with the schedule. Um, but other tips in here, listen to lectures over and over again. Pull it up and listen to it in the car. I took classes, I'm taking classes at Valdosta, but I also took classes at Georgia State in Med Micro and Advanced Med Phys and all this stuff. And so those are face to face classes. I recorded those lectures. I recorded every single one of those lectures and I, had a voice memo on my phone. And then I'd play those things when I was stuck in traffic driving to downtown and listen to them. So whatever it takes, if you want to pull up the YouTube videos from lecture and listen to those over and over again, do it. Um, read your textbook, read your textbook, read your textbook. Um, look at the terms, make flashcards. Lots of people benefit from flashcards. Some people like to make Quizlets. My caveat on the flashcards and the Quizlets is don't spend all your time on those and not use the other tools too, because if all you're learning is terminology and you don't understand how those terms work together, how things come together, then you're really only at, if I jump down to the bottom of this Bloom's taxonomy, you're really only at the bottom of the pyramid. If you only remember what the terms are and what vocabulary terms are, that's only a portion of what you need to know in this class. I need you to be able to understand and apply the information because test questions are going to be a variety of these. Will there be simple taxonomy questions, simple vocabulary terms questions? Yeah, there will, of course. But will there also be levels of apply kind of questions? You're presented with a patient and the patient has this, and this things going on with them. What do you think it might be? That's where you're applying that knowledge, right? So we might have some questions like that too on the test. So I don't want you to get too bogged down on flashcards and Quizlets and not, really fully understand the concepts. Study out loud, even if you're by yourself. Sometimes just talking out loud and hearing it also helps embed that information in your brain. Um, rewrite and retype your notes as you are listening to these video lectures on YouTube. I have every lecture on video. Just like I would in face to face, you get that same experience here, except obviously we're not getting the interaction. But listen to them, write down your notes, and then later make the study guide. And when you make your study guide, you can handwrite your study guide, rewrite them, highlight what you need out of those. That helps burn the information in. As you handwrite, it's been shown that handwriting your notes makes it proven better recall than if you just typed things into your computer. So that's another tip. Find breaks and chunk the material. Chunk it, definitely. Go through chapter 1, Intro to the Human Body, and chunk it into the different things. Maybe spend, 1 hour on terminology, all the names. That's where your flashcards are going to be, important. And then maybe spend another one on other chunks of chapter 1. Definitely have a goal every time you study. So, if your goal was to learn steps of cellular respiration, which we will cover in anatomy and physiology, use that as your goal for the studying for that block of time. Another thing, form study groups. This is an online class and it is hard to reach out to your fellow students. I understand that. If you want to form a study group, please do. You can email the whole class. All of y'all can get together on Zoom. You can get together on GroupMe, however you want to do it. Even just a group chat kind of thing is helpful. I certainly have a group of friends in my Valdosta graduate cohort, and we text back and forth about stuff, and occasionally we will video chat about things and commiserate or whatever it is we need to do about an assignment on a thing. So working in a group helps. Explaining concepts to others helps. So with that group plan in mind, I do have We have practice tests. We have WiseWire quizzes that I will start emailing you that you could do if you want to. All of these are just extra practice. Um, but, you know, can you explain this piece of knowledge to somebody else? Explain it to me like I'm 5. Can you do that? Can you tell me the steps of cellular respiration like I'm 5? Can you explain that to me? That really lets me know that you're at a higher level. You're in the analyze and apply, that you thoroughly understand a concept if you can explain it to somebody else. So study groups are important. And along that same vein, let me pull up um, the survey. So I've got in here on the homepage, one of these bad boys is the survey. Doo-doo-doo. Weekly meeting, yes. So do you want to do weekly meetings? I have a set of times in here in my office hours that we could do. And so I've got questions, you know, do you want to meet every week at a certain time? And if so, here are some times and please click what works for you. The survey is not graded. It is anonymous. I really just want your input. Do you want a weekly meeting? Last summer, my students did weekly meetings and they did really great. Honestly, the performance in that class was great. Every week we had a designated time and we would record it and students would pop in and we would have the supplemental instruction about concepts covered that week. And he would answer questions and it worked out really well for them. After that summer, the fall online class didn't want to do it. And honestly, they didn't perform as well, but fall and summer are different groups of students. So do you want that? I have a survey here. It is called weekly meeting question mark that we could do if you want to. And I really think it'll benefit the class. So please log in, do the survey, let me know what time works for you, and we'll set up a meeting and we will record it and post it out there for people. But it's only as good as the students that attend the meeting. If it's just me sitting in a room by myself, that's not any help. So come at me with your weekly questions. Come to the supplemental instruction. Let me know what time works for you with this weekly meeting survey. If those times don't work for you, email me. How do I email you? Let me pull it up. So we have the syllabus. Stop sharing this and open up the syllabus. The syllabus was on the welcome homepage, get started here homepage. And I'm going to share it here too. So let's stop sharing that and let's share the syllabus. Okay. Why is it so small looking? We're going to share the syllabus. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Hopefully we can see all this. So we've got CRNs that we are fully online. Lecture and lab are together. If you were coming from a different school like Georgia State, I mentioned before, they split off lecture and lab, and those are 2 separate grades, but not here at Georgia Highlands. They are 1 grade. Lecture and lab are together. So it is 1 4-hour class. Here's how you can get a hold of me. I told you to email me. If you need me, if you have questions about anything, definitely email me. Email my Highlands email. Why do you want to email my Highlands? Because my Highlands comes to my cell phone. I have the Outlook app on there, and so I can get this on my cell phone. Can you email me on the D2L email? Yes, you can. Of course you can. But despite the notifications that I told you are really super about D2L and how awesome it is, there's not a notification to let me know that you emailed me. So if you email me on like Wednesday night, help, the test isn't working or whatever, I can't get in. I usually get some panicked emails on the first night when things are due. I'm not going to know about that email. It won't let me know that you emailed me. Maybe you emailed me Friday. It doesn't let me know. So unless I'm physically logged into D2L, I don't know that you emailed me. But if you log in and email me at Outlook through your student email, I will know that you emailed me. So you can definitely shoot me an email. Highlands is the best one, but you can email me through D2L too. I just don't know right away that you emailed me, and I like to get back to my students, you know, in a timely manner. So I prefer the Highlands one. I do have an office on campus. I'm on the Cartersville campus. I am face to face every Tuesday and Thursday this summer. So this is my office phone if you need to get a hold of me. My cell phone is also in my email signature, so you can get that if you need to. When I'm um, not in my office, we can Zoom. So here is my Zoom link here, the meeting ID, and here are times for office hours, supplemental instruction. They're all here. So all of these Tuesday, Thursday, I am here for office hours on campus from 9 to 11:15. So you can pop in. We can have a face-to-face meeting if you are on campus. We could do it online too. We can meet up. And again, I am really pushing the weekly time slot um, meeting for everybody. There's 35 of us, I think, in this class. There's a lot of students, and I really think it benefits the group if we meet at a certain time. So please take the survey. Let me know if those times work for you, and we'll try and block off a time just for y'all. And that way, I won't have my AP2 students trying to chime in at that time slot. I won't have my other advising students trying to chime in and ask me about their fall classes. That time will be just for y'all. It's just for my AP1 online students. So please log in, let me know if a weekly time somewhere in these hours work for you, or maybe we'll have to do something else outside those hours. Here is the link for Navigate. Everyone should have Navigate access. So you just log in and look up my last name, Subacz, Subacz, and you can find me and book an appointment on these time slots. I need to go in there today and I will fix those so you can do that. Important dates are here. I'm not going to go through all of these, but they are here. Again, if I did this, I'd spend an hour on the syllabus and I'm not going to bog down your video. So all of these concepts, texts, this is important. The textbook is the backbone of the class. Textbook is where it's at. So how do you get the textbook? You click the link in the syllabus. You can find it there. So hopefully, where are we showing you? Let's make sure we're showing you. Right, here we go. Here is the link that can take you where the textbook is. It is by OpenStax. It is completely free. Which is amazing and awesome. All of our resources for this class are free. So you can look at it here. You can view it online, which is one of my favorite ways because this textbook and it's an open source and it's constantly being updated and edited. So I kind of like the online version. You can always download the PDF. That's what I have done for you. And I have put it in the class content, which we're going to see in just a little bit. So you can download a PDF. You can order a print copy. You can also pick up your own print copy at the university bookstore. You can go and pick it up there. You can get a used copy or a new copy from the bookstore. So there's lots of different ways you could do this. You can download it on the app if you've got, iBooks or Kindle or whatever you've got to read things. I like to download my Valdosta textbooks. I will download them to my electronic tablet. I'll put them on my iPad and, I've just got the ebooks and then I'll highlight them and read them that way. Whatever works for you, read the textbook. So that's a link to get the textbook right there. Let's bump back to the syllabus. All right, so that was how to get the syllabus. Again, how to get the syllabus, how to get the textbook. It's completely free. You can get a physical copy. I believe the physical copies are around $50, but they may be a little more now. But the downloaded version is free, and I've got it embedded into the class D2L. Lab is also free. It's embedded in the class. We have a LibGuide that's got all sorts of really great resources here to check out. It's got videos and outlines and all sorts of stuff in there. And then here are a whole bunch of links if you are running into help. Do you need a tutor in this class? Some of you might need a tutor. Do not be ashamed if you feel like you need to reach out and have a tutor. I myself used a tutor in undergraduate for a few classes. Calculus 3 was tough for me. Calculus 3 was tough. So yeah, use a tutor. They are free. They're absolutely free. Your tuition is paying for it. So don't be afraid to check out the virtual hub, go to the tutorial center and hang out with the tutor for a little while and help reinforce those concepts. Other things, Writing Center, Again, Navigate. STEM 411 is another really good resource. It's basically like a virtual chat. You type in your question and somebody's going to get back to you with an answer for you. So STEM 411 is pretty cool for all of our science classes. Here are the tech requirements for Respondus, what you're going to need for Respondus if you don't already have it. Attendance, again, I said that syllabus quiz is what you need to do for attendance. So please get that done by Wednesday. There's a lot of stuff that you've got to get done by Wednesday. But syllabus quiz, if you want to stay in this class, you need to do that one. All sorts of other policies. Okay, how do we calculate grades? How do I get an A in this class? Right now, everyone has an A in this class. We are going to have 4 exams. There's 4 chapters in each exam. There's 16 total chapters. So lecture exam 1 is going to cover 4 chapters. It's going to have 100 questions. They will be multiple choice and matching mostly. So we're going to have 4 lecture exams covering all the different content. Your best one, your best lecture exam is going to count twice. So if you rocked, exam 3, it was just, I got this. Exam 3 was your best one, that counts twice. So that's going to go in there as another 10% of your grade. Those lecture quizzes, every chapter has a lecture quiz. Your top 10 are going to go in here as another 10% of your grade. There's no makeups for the lecture quizzes though. So if you don't get those 3 lecture quizzes done by Wednesday, you're out those 3 quizzes. I'm not doing makeups for lecture quizzes. Those are easy points. I want you to get them. I'm taking your top 10. Lab average, we're going to get to lab, but lab is going to be 20% of your overall course grade. And then your final exam is also going to be 20% of your overall course grade. So we talked about lecture tests. They're 100 points, they're multiple choice, matching. Lecture tests are tough, they're difficult. They're going to ask you some easy peasy questions, just straight up vocabulary questions. They're also going to ask you some, higher level, analyze, apply kind of questions, like we talked about in the Bloom's taxonomy. So tests are tough. They're going to be 100 questions. They will be open for 48 hours. So within those 48 hours, again, you should be able to log in and take the test. You will have 75 minutes to complete the test as soon as you log in. So you're going to log in, you're going to hit, all the things. Yes, 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 yes. Start quiz. And then that's going to start your 75 minutes for your test. So sometime in the 48 hours, you will need to do that. Everything in this class is due on Wednesday. Wednesday is the day. Wednesday at midnight, that's where you need to double check and make sure that you have everything in. So Tuesday, all day Tuesday is 24 hours and all day Wednesday is 24 hours. So sometime between Tuesday, at 12:01 in the morning and Wednesday all the way through 11:59, you've got those 48 hours to log in and take the test, the quiz, the whatever. So 48 hours, 4 tests and 100 points. And our first test is on the 16th. First test is on the 16th for exam number 1. Lecture quizzes. Every lecture test, every lecture chapter has a quiz. They're 10 points, and we're going to take your top 10. Again, if you missed them and you forgot to do them by that Wednesday, I'm sorry, that's it. You've got to do your stuff by the deadlines set. And then that final lecture test. So we've covered 16 chapters by the end of the semester. Your final lecture exam will be cumulative. It will cover 150 questions instead of 100, and it will be from day 1 all the way to the end. That final exam score is going to be 20% of your grade. So if you made an 88, that 88% would count twice. It would count for 20% of your grade for the final exam. You will have a lot longer time frame on the final exam than you do on regular tests. Instead of 75 minutes, you get 2 hours to do the final exam. So time per question is better on the final exam than it is on regular tests. Lab grades. Lab is broken up into 4 tests, 4 lab practicals. We used to have 1 giant lab practical, and that was a nightmare to have it all at the very end and have to know them all. It was tough. So we split it up, and now we have 4 lab practicals. They are 50 questions apiece. They are all fill in the blanks. They're fill in the blanks, and spelling counts. Spelling absolutely counts in lab. All the lab exercise quizzes, all the lab practicals, they are fill in the blank. So you will need to know your stuff and being able to spell it. Those are the lab practicals. There are 4. They are spread throughout. Our first lab practical is also on the 16th, June 16th. So June 16th, we're going to have a lot of stuff due as far as tests and lab. The first test and the first lab practical are due on June 16th. Lab exercise quizzes. There are 18 lab exercise quizzes, and they are going to pull 10 questions from a pool of questions for each of the 18 topics covered. This week's topics that I want y'all to cover in lab are going to be microscopy, parts of the microscope, cytology, cells, different parts of cells, and how cells reproduce when we go through mitosis, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. That's another topic in lab. Then we do histology and integument. Histology is broken into epithelial and connective, muscle and nervous. So you have this week in lab do microscopy, cytology, epithelial histology, and connective tissue histology. Those 4 topics, those 4 lab quizzes, lab quiz LQ1 through LQ4, are also due on Wednesday. They are 4 questions. They will be fill in the blank based on the content that we're going to go through in just a little bit. So those are lab exercises. We add all this up, we get 300 points, and then we're going to take those 300 points and figure out your average. If you got, 200 out of the 300 points, that score, that percentage is your lab grade, and your lab grade counts for 20%. So that's lab. On the syllabus, we are a 10-point scale. It's not a, A plus or an A minus, it's 10 points. So the person that made a 91 is just as good as the person that made a 99. That's a huge spread. So that being said, if you have every semester this happens and it kills me every single time. If you have a 78 in the class, you still have a C. You still have a C with a 78. If you had a 79, 79.1, 79.5, if you're within a point, I will round you up, but I have to draw a line, and I draw the line at within a point. So if you're a 79.1, I got you, you're a B. If you're an 89.1, you're going to be an A. But if you are a 78.2, if you're an 88.5, you're still an 88.5, you're still a B. So don't just try not to get yourself in that situation. You will be able to log on to D2L and your scores are going to automatically update. You will be able to go into progress and look and see what your grades are automatically. So you can do that. We have all sorts of other policies here. Please look at these policies. They are important. Again, everything is due on Wednesday. All the exams are monitored. All this stuff about makeups, emails, COVID has changed this semester. So we've made a new policy and it is here. Withdrawals, unearned Fs, all of these things that I would go through you forever on are here in the syllabus. Here's all the stuff about cheating. Don't do it. I will call you out on it and I will send you to the committee. I have no qualms about it. And I've done it. I've done it at least once a year. I will do it. So please don't even go there. Just, the time you're spending trying to figure out a way around the system, just study and you'll do okay. This is the last page of the syllabus. I print this bad boy off. I don't care if it's an online class or a face-to-face class. I print this off because this is like the most important chunk out of the syllabus is telling me everything on what it's due. This is the schedule. Lecture stuff is here in the middle. This is all the lecture stuff that's going to be due. Lab stuff is going to be over here on the edge. And so these are all the lab concepts that are due on each date. Everything in red is going to be like a due date day. Wednesday is our due day for everything. And you can see what is covered each week in this class, in this piece of paper. So this is your go-to. The syllabus is always going to be where you go for this kind of information. Let's bounce back to the class. Stop sharing that. Go back to the class real quick. So, I told y'all can check out your grades. Grades are always going to be here. Under grades, well, you'll be able to see, what you made on this, that, and the other, um, on on a topic. And then another thing that you can do is your class progress. So I'm not in student mode. If I was, I'd be over here. I'd click, my profile, and then you would see over here progress. Progress would be right here. You click progress, and you're going to have three numbers. When you click progress, you're going to see where you're currently at. That's going to be one number. You're going to have the max and the minimum. The maximum, if you made 100 from here on out, this is what you would still be able to achieve. The minimum is nothing anyone wants to look at. And it's if you got a zero and everything, what you'd still achieve. No one wants to look at the minimum. Look at where you're at. That's your current number. That's your current average. Everyone should have an A right now. And then the maximum is what you can still achieve. So that's your class progress. Again, find it here under your profile. And then over here, it will say progress. Click it, and you can see how you're doing and what you can still make. So that hopefully will solve the panic emails I get at midterm and at the end of the semester. Can I still make an A? Look and see. Figure it out. I'm telling you all the skills that you need to do. You can see and add up the points manually in the syllabus. You can create your own Excel spreadsheet. That's what I do because I'm a super nerd like that. And I will put it all in Excel and calculate it. If I make a this, then my overall grade will be this. However you want to do it, Class Progress and D2L does it. So please don't come to me and ask me, what do I need to make an A? Figure it out. You can do it. Content. Let's go back to content because I'm telling you about all these things that you're going to be graded on, and I haven't covered the content yet. How I chunk it. We started off with the welcome here. We went through all those study tips. Use them. Please use them. Whether it's a study group, whether it is, making flashcards, whatever it is, time management is super important in a class like this. I also recommend we said tactile writing notes is important to burn things into your brain. Coloring. If you're into that kind of stuff, I know it sounds crazy, but there are coloring books for anatomy and physiology out there. And when we get into bones and when we get into muscles, I think the coloring books are pretty cool and they help you burn those bone names and bone markings into your brain. So they're kind of helpful. So that's just another trick to help you learn stuff. But coloring books are not free. They're like $9 or $12 on Amazon. The first exam's content. The first exam is on the 16th in this class, and we are going to cover these 4 chapters. This week, we are covering chapters 1 through 3 by Wednesday. So today is Monday. We cover chapter 1. Tuesday would be chapter 2. Wednesday could be chapter 3. We can cover all 3 of these chapters and get them done by the time that we need Wednesday at midnight. How do I break down each one? Each one is broken down by chapter, and I have each chapter in hierarchy. So we have we have the textbook. Again, I said it's the backbone of your class. I showed you where you can download it yourself to put it on your own device, but I have it here embedded in the class so everyone has a copy of the textbook. There's no reason why I didn't know where the textbook was and I didn't get a hold of it and I never read it. There's no excuse. So that is the backbone. Please read your textbook, at least skim it. Then we have chapter outlines. They are Word documents. So chapter outlines, I have taken the textbook and I boiled down to what I felt was important information. Chapter outlines are great. They are useful. Do they substitute for the textbook? No, they don't. But they are really helpful study tools. If you're looking at a chapter outline and you see some information and it looks okay, but you're still not quite 100%, go back to the textbook. If you read the textbook after you read the chapter outline again, and you're like, the textbook's still not making sense to me and the outline's still not making sense to me and I don't understand this thing, reach out to me or come to the weekly group study sessions. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you understand these concepts. So in order of priority, textbook at the top. Chapter outlines, the Word documents are great. Summaries of things that got boldface terms for terms that you need to know. It's really good stuff. The PowerPoints. I am going to have videos for every lecture. So, and they go through the PowerPoints. And in the PowerPoints, there are links out of these PowerPoints. So I want you to be able to download the PowerPoints to your device, open them up in presentation mode, and be able to click the links in those PowerPoints because they may take you to informational websites. They may take you to other YouTube videos that help reinforce concepts. I want you to have a copy of the PowerPoint. So here they are right here. Then I said all the lecture videos are here for you, just like I would in a face-to-face class. So I'm explaining everything. Again, just like my face-to-face, I'm trying to get it across that way and tell you what I feel are important things for you to know. There is also a study guide. Every semester I get, where are the study guides? Where are the study guides? Here are the study guides. And you'll see some of these are just defined, which are super easy. Do you understand what this word means? Basic knowledge questions. And then others are describe or discuss. Those are those, can you explain it to me like I'm five concepts? Do you understand the difference between negative feedback and positive feedback? What are some examples of negative feedback and positive feedback? I guarantee you those questions are on the test. They're absolutely on the test. There'll be an AP1 and an AP2 about feedback. So there is a study guide for every single chapter. What else we got here? Study guides. There are practice quizzes. These are optional. You don't have to do them, but they are great when you are learning terminology. If you're making flashcards, these will help you with those terminologies. So it's kind of like flashcards. You need to know what term will go into this blank space. I don't give you the answers to these. If you are doing these as a study guide, which I suggest, if you're using these to practice, let me know if you got questions and you're not sure which answer is correct. I don't give you these answers in D2L because some other instructors use these for a grade. And I don't want to step on anybody's toes, so I don't hand out the answers to these. But if you're taking the practice quizzes and you're writing down your answers for you, shoot me an email and say, chapter 1, question 6, is it this cavity or this cavity that contains the bladder? I'm not sure. And I will get back to you. So please, I do suggest you do these. They're great study tips and they're helpful. These concepts, these terms about cavities and that kind of stuff, that's going to be on the first test. It absolutely is. So these are helpful too, these practice quizzes. Um, if there's any other videos that I think are cool or relatable, I try and put them in here um, in each chapter. Other helpful tips, helpful things for studying is WiseWire. I think I mentioned it before on the Start Here page, but WiseWire worked with OpenStax and Rice University, and they have come up with questions that align with the information in the textbook. So I'm going to create a WiseWire class, and I'm going to start filling your inbox with all of the quizzes for each chapter. They are not mandatory. They are not mandatory. If you choose to do them, they are a great resource. I think they're good and they're going to help reinforce concepts for every single chapter. So be on the lookout in your student emails for WiseWire. Those are going to help. There'll be more practice quizzes. So that's how the content is broken down for lecture. Lecture exam 1, lecture exam 2 through 4, they're all there. Lab, how does lab work? All right, so lab, we have the orientation lab page. It's built in here. It's got all the major concepts. Microscopy, cytology, histology, and integument are all going to be on the first lab practical. These are concepts on the first lab practical, and then you can see what their modules are and when they're due over here. So this is the orientation kind of scheduling page. Let's go back. Then we have a link for Jason Christian. He started out as our lab coordinator, and now he's all the way up as the dean, which is, I just think it's awesome. So Jason Christian made some video links back in the day, and they are covering all sorts of great things: the muscles, the bones, special senses, all that stuff that we're going to need to know in lab. He's made his own YouTube videos, so I have links for all of that in this link right here, the J Christian video links page. All right, so the lab practical, we said we're broken down into chunks of information: microscopy, cytology, histology, and integument, dermatology. Then I have a review for the lab practical. For every exam, I'm going to have an audio review that preps you on information that you need to know um, out of these topics. So microscopy, let's check out the very first one and cover microscopy today. At least microscopy and cytology would be great if you covered both of those today on Monday. Microscopy, here's a web page for microscopy. Read the information. There is a simulation that you can play around with. There is a thing link, which I think are really cool, that you can click and see what the names of the microscope are, because these are absolutely going to be on the lab practical. And it'll be a picture of a microscope with a little arrow, right? And it's pointing to something, and you need to know what that is. So you need to be able to spell it out, type it out. You need to know exactly what the answer is for that structure, and be able to spell it on not only the quizzes, but as well as the lab practicals. So they will be fill in the blank and you will need to type out the answers. Here. Okay, so that was the thing links. Um, there's all sorts of information on here. Concepts are covered here on the microscope, inversion, field of view, all of that good stuff. The depth of focus, because things are three-dimensional. You can see the lab manual that we would use in face-to-face class. That's also in here to help you out. And then the microscopy quiz. So this is the quiz that's going to cover this concept that you will need to take by Wednesday. So here's the microscopy quiz. It will link, you will, go through start quiz and you will have 10 questions on the different things in microscopy. So we have lab quiz, microscopy, cytology, epithelial tissue, and connective tissue are all due by Wednesday. And each one of those has a topic in here under the lab folder. So lab folder is at the bottom, lab notes and activities, lab exam 1, here's microscopy, cytology, histology, and dermatology, AKA integument, your skin. All of these are gonna be on the first lab practical, and we are covering a chunk of this by Wednesday, and then the next chunk of it will be by next Wednesday, and then the lab practical on Wednesday the 16th. So that's how lab is going to work. Lab, again, is all fill in the blank, spelling counts. The lab practicals are going to be timed, and I don't remember exactly what the time limit is on the lab practicals, but there will be 50 questions. They are timed, and you only get, X amount of time to do the whole thing. So once you skip forward, like you can't go backwards and try and fix it. So you really need to know these when you sign up to do the quizzes for lab. Lecture quizzes, those guys are multiple choice. They are not fill in the blank. Lecture quizzes are multiple choice, just, pick the right answer. Lab exams are, lecture exams are going to be multiple choice and matching, that kind of stuff for lecture. Did I say lab? Lecture exams, multiple choice and matching. Lecture quizzes, multiple choice, true, false, that kind of stuff. Lab though is always fill in the blank. So lab is a lot of information. It's a lot of memorization. Please let me know if you have questions about this stuff. Please email me, send me a text, come to the weekly meetings, reach out. I am here for you. I have rambled on a whole lot longer than I wanted to on this video, but I hope we have covered everything as far as orientation in this online AP1 class for summer 2021. Again, reach out to my email at ksubach-highlands, or you can call my office, leave a voicemail, you can text me. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.